Hey everybody, Dan Warby with Keller Williams, West Ventura County here. So there's a bunch of market news out in the last few days that would suggest we're pretty much at the bottom of the market drop now, and we're going to be headed back up from here. So that's great news. The numbers were pretty staggering. We're going to end up being down about 50 to 60% year over year in terms of units sold. Thankfully, prices don't seem to have dipped much, if at all. So people are listing their homes now, and the data suggests we hit bottom somewhere in mid-April. We saw weeks of pretty big losses in pending sales, but those are starting to rise now as well. What's interesting to me is the pent-up demand that was generated by the lockdowns. In talking with realtors all over the country, we're starting to see a real burst of buying and selling because COVID didn't stop those life events that trigger people's buying and selling behavior. And now that those restrictions are being eased, people are being pretty aggressive in trying to find a new home or getting theirs on the market. We're also hearing a lot of people talking about the recovery taking the shape of a check mark, and that seems to be being borne out in the data. Zillow's economists are saying that we'll see a short burst in activity here and then a gain of about 10% a month until we're back to pre-pandemic highs in late 2021. I talk with buyers and sellers all day, 5 days a week, and one thing I noticed is that the market crash of the Great Recession really traumatized people. When all this started, people really hit the brakes on whatever plans they had because they feared another crash like 2008. Where prices fell like 20 to 30%. But the housing market was way different and way stronger going into this crisis than it was in 2008. And the most aggressive estimates I've seen for prices is a drop of maybe 2 to 3%. A lot of that is due to high demand, stable pricing, really low interest rates. The days of excess credit and excess inventory are pretty far behind us now. So there's a lot of good news, but there's a few areas that will have more problems than others, mainly those areas dependent on tourism or where there's a lot of short-term vacation rentals. People were making great money pre-COVID with those Airbnbs in areas where that was allowed, and they may have overextended themselves a little bit and might need to offload some inventory. That might push prices down a bit in these areas. We'll have to keep an eye on it. So all in all, some pretty great news this week, which I think we all really needed here. Stay safe, everybody, and if you do need anything at all, feel free to reach out to me anytime.